is up, everybody? ZMT Sports back. Beautiful Wednesday morning. Jesus Christ.
Our new official day is Wednesdays.
Yes. Recording Wednesdays. I can't do that, man. I can't hear myself. Look, I have to do it.
I have to look like an idiot.
Yeah, I can't. Like, I just can't hear myself, which is just bad. But yeah, man, happy Wednesday for me. I had yesterday.
Everybody win.
Yesterday was a day for me where I love being as big of a sports fan as I am.
I cannot agree with you.
Mets swept the doubleheader. Rangers shut out the Devils. I mean, win. But I also have days where everybody loses, so it comes and goes.
That is what I deal with constantly.
Yesterday was a tough day for you. Devils, Yankees got killed. Tough ones.
Yeah.
But where you want to start here? I mean, we can go baseball, we can go football, we can go our hockey teams, we can go our hottest debate of the last couple of weeks has been between our two goaltenders. We can start there. I mean, ball's in your court. You tell me, Milk Money, where you want to start.
I'll let you're Mr. Big Ball Almighty, so I'll let you.
I'm just happy today. It's a good day. It's a good day.
I'm just going with the flow today, so I'll let you.
Where do you want to start? You know what? I'm actually curious to see. We haven't talked about football in a while, so I'm actually curious to see. I want your opinion on the Cowboys offseason and where do you want them to go in the draft? I think that's a good spot to start. So
all right, and we'll go same to you. Well, we know what you're doing with already, but we will pass the ball to your court after I'm done. But when it comes to the Cowboys, I don't think they should change anything. And I know it's dramaful and everything because Jerry Jones, what he does, he tries to make things interesting. He's a businessman. He makes you want to rip your hair out, even though I don't even have that much hair. And there's rumors about trading up to get Kyle Pitts. There's rumors about trading back to hopefully have JC Horn fall into our lap. But they have the number 10 overall pick. I think they should stay there. I know JC Horn is very good. I wouldn't mind if they picked him over Patrick Surtain, but I want Patrick Surtain. Either one of them, the defense has to be fixed. Even though, with the stunt they pulled last year with CeeDee Lamb coming to the offense is dynamic. Imagine if Kyle Pitts was there. Holy shit. They would probably be one of the best offenses in a long time, but at the same time, the defense is the problem. We saw it last year. It doesn't matter how many points they put up. They were still losing games. Because the defense was historically bad. So I would, as a Cowboys fan, I'll let you get your opinion on it, but as a Cowboys fan, not a delusional one. I want the defense to be fixed. They made a lot of good offseason moves to get the defensive fix, getting depth in the secondary. I want that to continue. I want Patrick Surtain or JC Horn, whatever falls into our lap. Kyle Pitts, would it be great to have him, but we have enough offensive talent already. The defense needs to be fixed. That is where I go.
I think the Cowboys, here's the thing. And I think it'll be a good test for Cowboy fans. I think you'll know if Jerry Jones really wants to get this right? He signed Dak. He fucked around with Dak, right? Is he going to sign him? Is he not? He waited forever. Finally gave him his money, right? So now this offseason is like, you could take your offense like from like here to like up here, like you could just –
unreal.
It can go crazy with Kyle Pitts because how are you covering? How are you covering that?
You know what I mean? Cover?
And you look at the teams in your division. I think this is a big thing that I know – it's hard to do as like a fan of the team because I don't do this when I talk about the Jets. But on the outside looking in at that division, the Cowboys are going to have to try to beat the football team. And their defense is top echelon in the league. And the Giants have made constant moves on their defense, and they were top echelon last year. Now, they added guys like Adoree Jackson, and they're in a good position to either draft offense or defense as well in the draft. So I think the Cowboys are looking like, all right, look at the offenses we're going to face in this division and look at the defenses we're going to face in this division. Do we draft Kyle Pitts and make it harder for defenses like the Giants and the football team to cover against us? Or do we go defense to stop offenses that may not be as strong as the defenses of those teams? And now, obviously, you're playing other teams in the NFC as well. Like, it's not just your division, but that's 6 games. The Cowboys go 5-1 in those games. All you're really asking for them is to go a game under 500 against the rest of the league, and you're in the playoffs. You're in contention for the division. You know what I mean?
I hate you.
Like, what?
I hate you.
Why?
Because you're making me change my mind a little bit now because you have a really good point.
About Kyle Pitts, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, if the Cowboys go into this year against the football team and the Giants, right?
Mom's back.
Against like Dana. Hey. If he
Yeah.
um
All right. See ya. Love you.
Here, Harley, what's say hi?
hey.
And guest appearance.
Love it.
Continue though. Sorry.
If the Cowboys add Pitts, right? They have Amari Cooper, Gallup, Lamb, Pitts, and Dalton Schultz is not bad either. So
And
now
Blake Jarwin if he's healthy.
Yeah.
Did you sign Blake Jarwin to a big deal last year before he got hurt?
Yeah, hopefully Zeke doesn't fumble the ball as much, and Tony Pollard looks like a player too. So now you're going against the Giants, right? And now the Giants are going to be forced to use a safety on Pitts because you need to do that, right? Then they're going to have a Dory Jackson against Gallup, and then you're going to have Bradbury against Cooper. But then who's covering Lamb? Logan Ryan? I'm taking that matchup. I'm taking that matchup. So you look at that way. You look in division. I think if Jerry Jones and the Cowboys want to attack this division, I think they go Pitts or they go offense. If they want to round out their team and say, you know what, I think our offense is even good enough, especially with Dak, to beat top defenses like Washington and New York, then you go defense because then you're going to add a playmaker on the outside for your secondary. And then who knows what your defense does? Like if your defense, like you said before, is even a little bit better, the Cowboys could take a big jump. But that's my idea. If you want to attack your division, you go Pitts.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking about it too, because you're right. You're right to a certain aspect, because if you add Kyle Pitts to this offense, this throwing dynamic offense is literally on paper unstoppable. Like you said, Cooper, Gallup, Lamb, Pitts, and then for backup guys, you know, you have Jarwin, you have Schultz, who performed in their past. You know, Jarwin before he got hurt last year, Schultz stepped up, he played pretty damn well. You got Zeke, you got Pollard. But at the same time, as good as this offense is, even if they did add Kyle Pitts, I also believe on the offense side of things, the offensive line is a problem. I think that they're old. I think they're wearing out. Obviously, Zach Smith's an all-pro. Lost Travis Frederick to retirement. Joe Looney's good, but he was hurt. Tyron Smith, he's just deteriorating every year, it seems like. So if there was an offense that I prefer to pick, as much as Kyle Pitts would make the throwing dynamic so much better, offensive line. That is how I feel. And being an offensive lineman in my past, that's how I feel as well. Because you got to keep Dak healthy now. You have to keep Dak healthy. The contract, his bounce back year, you have to keep Dak healthy. And it starts up front.
I don't think you can ever go wrong drafting an offensive lineman. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the fifth best offensive lineman. I don't care if it's the first best. You can never go wrong with taking a young kid up front that you can mold into your offensive line. You never can. And
it's the one thing I give Jerry. It's the one thing I give Jerry Jones.
Yeah, he always built up his offensive line.
He built the Great Wall of Dallas, 2014. That was probably one of the best offensive line in a long in a long time or ever. Exactly. So that's the one thing I give Jerry Jones for credit for that. But continue. Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, I don't think you can ever go wrong. If the Cowboys sat there at 11 and took an offensive lineman, I don't think you could be upset. Yeah. Because that just goes to show, hey, we're protecting our quarterback. We just gave him the contract he wanted. We're going to protect him. Like, he will make, if we have to go draft a wide receiver in the second, third, or fourth round, or a tight end or another playmaker, he'll make them better. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to get a premier guy because he'll make them better. But then you add the premier guy with a quarterback that's already, top echelon league, top 10, top 5 quarterback, whatever you want to call him. You add more and more playmakers. I mean, look what Mike McCarthy turned Aaron Rodgers into. And Aaron Rodgers didn't have quite as much talent as Dak could possibly have, adding Pitts. And then even if you don't add Pitts, I mean, Randall Cobb was solid. Jordy Nelson was solid, but I felt like they were more products of Aaron Rodgers. Dak Prescott and these core group of wide receivers kind of grew together, if that makes sense.
It kind of reminds me of well, obviously Mahomes is the next generational talent, but look at the weapons he has on the offense side of the ball. Like, you have Hill, you have Kelsey. It helps. It helps. Yeah. And it does kind of remind me that if Dak got all these weapons too, maybe, this Chiefs offense was so good that, I mean, the defensive side of the ball, they held their own, but their offense was so good. They went to the Super Bowl with no offensive line, basically. We saw what happened there, but at the same time, it kind of reminds me of the same thing. Did you?
I heard you, but I lost you. But yeah.
I saw you. You froze a little bit.
Yeah, am I freezing right now?
No, you're good now.
No,
you're okay now.
That's good.
All right. Okay. I think we should stop for a second.
Okay.
Screw the Cowboys, and let's talk about your main man, Broadway Zach. I think that's what we should talk about.
The Jets are going to take Justin Fields.
Oh, holy shit! That was a fucking curveball. All right, tell me why.
I'm confident now that they're gonna do something wrong. That's what this organization does. All you hear all going into this is Zach Wilson's number 2. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you see some reporters like, don't count out Justin Fields, don't count out Justin Fields, don't count out Justin Fields. Justin Fields having a second pro day today. The Jets sent more people more than they did the first time. They sent them more there. Justin Fields strikes me. I feel like he can turn the dial with the type of culture we're trying to build more than Zach Wilson. And what I mean by that is I feel like the things that none of our fans here, right? Interview processes, how they interview. All I hear and read about Zach Wilson is we have to court his parents. His parents don't want him coming to New York. They want him in San Francisco. A Utah-based newspaper just put out today on their front page for the Jets, not like, please don't pick Zach Wilson, like spare him the issue. These things don't just come up, like this isn't just like people saying these things. Like, this is real things. Like, if Zach Wilson doesn't want to be a New York Jet, he might not interview as well. Justin Fields, although I don't, sometimes things get blown out of proportion and we won't go there, but Justin Fields, I can see him interviewing with Saleh and Douglas saying, better pick me. Everybody's putting me down. I can't read defenses. I can't do this. You better pick me. You better pick me. And I'm not saying that automatically leads to him being a great quarterback, but if I feel like the culture the Jets are trying to build, getting guys that are underappreciated, want to play, want to work hard, I feel like Zach Wilson could be a little bit of a pretty boy maybe. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, thinking
Josh
about
Rosen.
things.
Josh Rosen.
It could easily be that. So I think based on today's pro day, and I think when the interviews start to happen leading up the next 2 weeks to the draft, I think it could be Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold-ish 2018. It was Darnold Browns, Broadway Baker. Draft night came and Baker Mayfield went number 1. And the Jets were like, holy shit, we're taking Sam Darnold. Now I feel like it's going to be the opposite. It could be Broadway Zach. He's going to the Jets. And then San Francisco ends up with their guy. Oh shit, we're going to draft Zach Wilson. Jets took Justin Fields. And then the Jets will get ridiculed for it and ripped apart, and it'll either work and it won't work. But my mindset going into this draft, knowing that they're taking a quarterback, is prove it. And I think all Jet fans need to be like this. We can't hand the torch yet. We can't. That's what we did with Darnold. Look, we're all pissed off. Some are upset. Some are happy, whatever. Like, because it was like, oh, Darnold's our savior right off the get-go. Like, no, like play a couple years. Show us. Be Justin Herbert. Be Joe Burrow. Be Dak Prescott. Like, show us in the first couple of years, and then do it.
Yeah.
Kyle Moore joked with me the other day. What'd he say? He gives it to preseason week 3 before I'm all in and I have his jersey and this. I'm not doing it again. Nope.
Oh, Zach Wilson?
I will guarantee you, whether it's Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, I will not have their jersey until the beginning of year 2 or 3. If he has a good rookie year, I'll buy it going into year 2. But if he does not have a solid rookie year and we don't know, I'm going to give him year 2. And then if he's solid, year 2 makes the jump. Year 3, I'll buy his jersey. But I am not.
That's a long-term commitment.
Buying another quarterback jersey until they just show that they can actually win, not what they can do. And listen, we were talking about the Cowboys offseason. I don't think the Jets did anything added like special. They just signed solid football players. Do I think Corey Davis is going to be what he was in Tennessee? Who the hell knows? He sucked with Tennessee before. Vrabel, I can't say it. His name always
Mike Vrabel, yeah.
Mike Vrabel. And Arthur Smith came in with Ryan Tannehill in the play action offense. Like, that's the only reason why Corey Davis took off. I think he's a nice football player. I mean, would I have spent $6 million more for Kenny Golladay? Of course, but they didn't. Carl Lawson doesn't have snack numbers, but pressures a quarterback highest in the NFL. Nice player. LaMarcus Joyner. We lost out Keanu Neal, who I was okay with, like I wanted, but the Cowboys took him away. Like, Zach Wilson's going to come in here and he's got solid football players around him, but who the hell's the running back? Michael Pirine, Ty Johnson, Tevin Coleman. I mean, Denzel Mims in year 2, he barely played last year because of injuries. Jamison Crowder is the best slot receiver in the NFL. That's, I think, a lock, maybe depending on where you want to put Tyreek Hill, like where it is, but he's one of the highest productive slot players in the NFL. So that's a positive. But Corey Davis, I mean, I don't know. And I just hope that this.
What is the Jets' second? What is the Jets' second round pick or their second pick overall?
Pick 23, and that's where I was going to get to right now. I don't know, and that's why I don't know if I want them to go playmaker like Rashard Bateman or Kadarius Toney, like someone there, or if I want them to go offensive line. Do they go Creed Humphrey out of Oklahoma?
Call me crazy. but I think there's so much talent in this first round and in this draft. And you're just talking about it when it comes. I read some things, but when it comes to the running back position for the Jets, who the fuck knows? I think Travis Etienne, or I wouldn't even be surprised if Najee Harris drops that low because of all the talent.
Because here's the beautiful thing about the Jets, right? They picked 2, 23, and 34. So there's so much talent in this draft, like you just said. 34 is a second pick in the second round. There's going to be plenty of first round talent there, no doubt. Because there's going to be teams who reach and take a quarterback earlier than they should. There's going to be teams that reach and take a position need rather than best player available in the Jet, and it'll fall on the Jets. So do they go defense at 23, whatever corner, because they need corner help too, whatever corner falls there. I don't know who it might be. Do they go wide receiver? Bateman, Tooney's probably around that area, like of players there. Do they go all O-line? Does Elijah Tucker fall from USC? Is it Creed Humphrey, the center from Oklahoma, who all Jet fans are loving right now because he said his favorite player growing up was Nick Mangold, who
awesome
Hall of Fame center.
Love Nick Mangold.
Played his whole career with the
Jets.
His
sister's a beast.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So we all love him. Do we pick him at 23, move McGovern to guard, put him at guard? I don't know. But I do agree with you that at 34, I think they could go running back. I think they could go Harris. Or
I just think there's a lot of questions. Like, I mean, offensively, when it comes to receiver, I mean, the quarterback, you kind of got that figured out, Fields or Wilson. And then the receivers, you did sign some, Corey Davis, you got Crowder, you got him some help, etc.
Yep.
But the running back position is a big question mark. You just let go of a Hall of Fame running back who obviously was at the end of his tenure. So he wasn't as big as he was, but at the same time, it's just a lot of questions at that running back position for the Jets offense overall. I think that's the biggest question: offensive line or running back for them. That's what I think.
This is what hurt. I think I had a week to think about the Darnold trade, basically a week and 2 days. I think what bothers me the most about the Darnold trade is now I know this year again is no playoffs. Like, we're not making the playoffs. Still rebuilding. But here's the thing: when you commit to a fourth year quarterback, right? Sam Darnold could have flourished in this offense with all the already experience. Now, number 2, you could trade back. You can add players. You can draft Penei Sewell. You can move back to 4. You could trade with the quarterback-hungry team on draft day and get a player from them, or fall to 6, 7. Draft a Kyle Pitts. Draft a Jalen Waddle. Draft a Devonta Smith, right? And get Darnold, those guys, right? And then at 23, you pick defense, or you pick Surtain, or you pick Horn when you move back, or you stay. There were so many more options where it's like the Jets could have built
around Darnold
a winner with Darnold. And then this year we go 9-7, 10-6, and surprise and make the playoffs. But now a rookie quarterback, not knowing if he's even going to start week 1, they're looking for veteran options. We have Brian Hoyer for a visit. You don't know what weapons or what's going to be around him. I know 5-11, 6-10 at best, and I'm sitting here waiting for year 2 already, and we're not even at draft night. Like, that's what bothers me as a Jet fan. It's been 10 years of that.
I totally agree with you, because we talked about it last episode in our Bye Bye Sammy episode. It is really crazy how the trade of Sam Darnold, it really puts you back a step, because when like you just said, if you had Sam Darnold, you could build the pieces. You're wasting a pick on a quarterback at number 2 when you could get a Kyle Pitts. Like you said, you get a Kyle Pitts, a dynamic person for Darnold, or and
that was my biggest knock, man. That was because you saw the package that San Francisco got. The Jets could have got more at 2, because then at 2 you're giving the team the pick they want at quarterback, because everybody has known since last year that Trevor Lawrence was going number 1, whoever was there. So you knew at number 2 you have Lance, Jones, Wilson. Like, you have your pick, so it's worth another first rounder. It's worth an extra second round. You know what I mean? Jets could have got so much for that pick in the next 2 or 3 years. They would have been loaded for Sam Darnold. Loaded. And they talk about the resetting the financial clock with the rookie quarterback. Well, how about this? You would have reset the financial clock with all the other positions you could have drafted. And had them on rookie contracts for 4 years and paid Darnold. And Darnold wouldn't have got top money because Darnold hadn't performed yet. So Darnold would have gotten $18 to $25 million a year. He's not getting 40. He's not getting 30. It would have been an affordable QB contract in this landscape with all these rookie contracts of wide receivers and O-linemen and corners. I mean, am I going to be mad if Justin Fields or Zach Wilson turns into the next fucking Peyton Manning? Of course not. But we don't know that. And I think when Darnold balls out in Carolina, we're all going to be looking back like, fuck.
Because that could have been us in a year or 2 if we built around him. Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But
I'm excited for the draft coming up a couple of weeks. I'm sure we're going to do a
little mock draft
thing.
episode.
We'll dive into it more, but
get Kyle Maher on this podcast with us.
Yeah,
big draft guy.
Yep. Sorry, I had to move my screen a little bit, and I got a work email.
You're trying to show off that shirt.
Yeah. Speaking of 27 shots shut out by Igor Shesterkin.
Oh, here we go. Before we start the argument, not even the argument, before we start the debate or whatever it is, I'm gonna say, to start it off, I'm not gonna give you what you want and say, oh, Igor's the best. I'm not gonna do that. But what I am going to say, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give Igor the benefit of the doubt. He played very well yesterday. And your ceiling ever since our first Battle of the Hudson episode has collapsed all over my ceiling because I can't say anything because my team fucking sucks.
The records are actually scary.
We are all 20.
That first podcast.
We are all 20-year-old hockey players. I don't have any ceiling anymore for the Devils. They've been rebuilding for 10 years. You can continue. Go ahead.
But no, I'm just saying what was just so funny how it's come full circle. And we both know the Rangers aren't making the playoffs. Yeah, every win they get, their chances get better. But I'm not buying in yet. I can't yet because Boston's up 4 points, 2 games in hand, whatever. But the records from that night we did, Battle of the Hudson Part 1, the Devils were 6-3-2. I couldn't get the smile off your face, and you could not stop piling the shit talk into it that night. Could not. And I think since then, the Devils have won 8 games,
something like that. I think,
and we recorded that in January. And I think a lot of the things, and what bothers me about Islander fans and Devils fans, they're both like this. The Islanders have more annoyingness because they're one of the best teams in the NHL. So not only do they throw our stats at our face, they're good, so they can do that. But a lot of the things that bother me with the Rangers lately is that nobody's talking about them. And I'm actually it bothers me, but I kind of like it. Did you know, Mike, that they since, hold on, I have the stat here. I literally been liking all these. The Rangers stat and info Twitter account is
Tom Leone, the stat guy.
Okay.
Stat guy.
Since this is just great.
Tell me the stat.
First of all,
tell me. Tell me the stat.
It's a point thing, how they're one of the top teams in the NHL the last 2 months. Okay. So it's crazy. Since March 13th, the Rangers are tied for 6th in the NHL in wins. They're 10-4-3. They're tied for 5th in point percentage, ranked 2nd in goal differential. They rank 2nd in goal differential, goals, and goals per game, and rank 6th in goals against per game. Okay. The New York Rangers earned their 17th regulation win last night and the 19th regulation OT win of the season. The Rangers rank 13th in the NHL in regulation wins and are tied for 13th in NHL in regulation OT wins in 2021. But that's 4th amongst the Mass Mutual NHL East Division. So basically what those stats tell me is that they're the 13th best hockey team in the league since they just got off to their slow start, when we did the Battle of the Hudson Part 1. They're the 13th best hockey team in the league in the toughest division and won't make the playoffs. And I think that's what bothers me the most. We're going to look at this year and Devils fans and Islander fans and be like, you're not going to make the playoffs. You're not going to make the playoffs. But the Rangers aren't going to make the playoffs, not because they're a bad hockey team or because they underperform.
Because of the structure.
It's because of the structure of the season. And that's what bothers me.
I know, but I know that. I'm not an idiot as much as I bust your balls.
No.
I know that.
You, Justin, and Kyle, the Devils, and John, the Devils fans of our group are not irrational. When I talk about this,
I am. A little bit.
You're irrational with Igor and Blackwood, and Kyle is too. And we'll talk about that in a couple seconds. But Devils fans on Twitter, I can't. Yes, you're
Jersey pride.
You're the youngest team in hockey. Congratulations, you're not winning hockey games. We're the second youngest, and we're fucking fighting for a playoff spot. Get your heads out of your ass, okay? Get your heads out of your ass. You could be the youngest team in the NHL. Congratulations. Be the youngest. Win some fucking hockey games.
Future.
Hey, I'm talking a lot of shit right now. The Rangers could lose the next 3 to them. But after last night and how they dominated you guys and didn't even play us out as good as a game as they have been the last couple of weeks, I think we're only going to see better. But just that's what bothers me. Devils fans on Twitter. Okay, I'm done. Do you want to talk about Igor Mackenzie Blackwood, or do you want to go to
how many? I got a solution for you, Tom. I mean, I got a stat for you. How many teams in the NHL again?
30.
That is the rank the Devils are in every stat that you just pulled up. Right there. They are not a good hockey team. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we could talk about it. This is where I'm going to go as we start this.
Yes, you take.
I will, because you have the stats, you have everything to prove that Igor is a better goalie than Mackenzie Blackwood.
Can I cut you off before you keep talking?
Okay, but as good as a goalie,
they're equal to each other. I don't know who's better. I mean, yeah, stats say Igor's better, but I'm not ready for that because I know the situation Mackenzie Blackwood's in. But what you guys say is continue.
No, that's what I was. This is what I was going to say. I base off players off of watching, analyzing, watching them play. Igor is very good. I'm not an idiot. Igor is very good. He showed it last night how good he is. Mm-hmm. But like you said it yourself, but the circumstance that Mackenzie Blackwood is in, I relate it to how you felt about Darnold in New York. Okay. That's how I relate it. I relate to that because Darnold,
completely different sports, but
obviously, but Darnold's potential, how good he can be if you give him some weapons. Okay. And you never really got to see it, but you're going to see it in Carolina. And I will put money on that he will be a good quarterback next year. But different sport, obviously. But look at Mackenzie Blackwood's situation. Look at Igor's situation. And that is why I think we fight to the bone to say that Blackwood could be better than Igor. They are both very good.
You guys do say, not could be, you guys say he is.
I think he is.
I have literal proof of Kyle Marr saying the Rangers would have more wins with Mackenzie Blackwood.
I kind of agree with that.
See, this is where I have my issue with the whole Mackenzie Blackwood argument, right? I can respect you guys thinking that when the Devils finally put a good defensive core around him, he will be very good. But throwing your Sam Darnold argument back, I thought that with Sam Darnold, but I could never say he was better than any other. I couldn't say he was better than Josh Allen. I couldn't say he was better than Joe Burrow. I couldn't say he was better than Justin Herbert. Because there was nothing there. Yeah, I see things with when Darnold was playing like, damn, if he had freaking Stephon Diggs, he would get open. I see that. I saw that. And I thought the talent was there. And I'm like, Darnold could be better than all those quarterbacks. But I couldn't sit there and argue with people saying Darnold was better. By year 3, I couldn't anymore. I couldn't because there was no numbers proving that. There was no results proving that. So I was just like, yeah, the talent's there. But to say that he was better was just pushing it. I would try to argue that they're equal. I would say, listen, this is what Darnold does. This is what Allen doesn't. Allen does this wrong. When Darnold does that, it's an interception because his team, you know what I mean? I could do things like that. And I see that when you guys argue Blackwood, Shesterkin. But where it gets me pissed off is when you guys say, like, there's no doubt about it, the debate's over, he's better than Igor. That's false because he's not yet. Because there's nothing proving that. Yeah, he makes crazy saves, but you act like I don't watch Igor and I don't watch Blackwood. Like, you guys get on me because I will say, oh, nice save. I'll be watching the Devils game on a random Tuesday. You go like, imagine if I was watching a Ranger game. Like, I do flip back and like I watch both picture-in-picture, both TVs. Like, I got both on because I got to know my shit. I'm the only. There's me and Mike Tutala, the only Ranger fans in a group of like 8 people.
Yeah.
It's always 4 against 2 or 4 against 1. I gotta know my shit. I can't. I don't have the luxury of having 3 people to piggyback off of and not have to watch the games. I actually have to try. I have to watch the Devils. I have to know what's going on. I have to know these things. So I watch. But go ahead.
No, and to a certain aspect, you're right. Like, you are right about a lot of things. Like you said, the stats prove it.
And you are right about a lot of things as well.
Thanks. No, but I just like. I just based it off the game yesterday. This is where I look at it. Obviously, the Devils had 27 shots on goal to the Rangers, 22?
17.
Oh, they had 17. Oof. What the fuck?
Rangers did not play well.
No, but it's crazy to me because you just watched the first 5 minutes of the game and you saw there was like 6 breakaways for the Rangers already. And that's what I look at it like.
The Devils had 3 early, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know, but it was all by Miles Wood.
What was it? 25 seconds in, they had Wood to Bratt, and it was a really good high percentage scoring chance, and Igor saved it.
Yeah, well, there was that, but that's where I can defend Igor. But then I got there a little late. I got there like with around the 18.
Oh, okay, mark. Yeah. I mean, 25 seconds in, like the Devils almost scored. Like Wood chipped it out and went 2-on-1, and Igor had to come out of his paint and make a save. Like it was
Right.
like,
So
I was
that's
like, here we go.
valid right there.
Yeah.
But then when I got there around like the 18-minute mark, there was like
Rangers,
at least Rangers like 4-minute breakaway. Like there was Panarin, there was Kakko, there was like Jesus Christ, dude.
In fairness, though, the Rangers did not put a lot of those pucks on net.
No, we
were missing wide a lot.
Which was
so who knows what would happen
rare.
if we did put them on net. Like Blackwood could have gave up 3 or 4 goals. You know what I mean?
But like, I'm not taking anything away from Igor's performance. I mean, it's his first ever shutout in his career. Congratulations to him and everything like that. But the 27 shots on goal, this is why I hate stats, because were they really 27 shots on goal?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it has to hit the goalie for it to be counted as a shot on goal. We bet shots on goal all the time. We were supposed to know. When I touch the net, it's not.
No, I know that, but when I tell you, when I like make fun of you and bust your balls about Igor, like I say, like, oh, Mackenzie Blackwood makes better saves, and that's why I think he's better. There was literally, I think, 19 out of the 27 shots on goal hit Igor in the chest, like routine.
Be better shooters,
and that's what I'm saying. Like that's on the Devils, and that's on other teams.
But here's my thing.
Make them look good.
Remember, I don't know, Saturday night we were talking about this, right? And this is a really heated debate in our group, right? You guys were surprised that Igor faced the same amount of shots as Blackwood this year. You guys were genuinely surprised about that.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Remember that? Possible. You and Kyle were like dumbfounded when Justin said that, because you were expecting Justin like completely jump on board with you guys and like totally get it. And I think
stats are stupid.
But I'm just saying, when he said that, you guys were like, what? And now I went a little further last night because I had a feeling we were going to talk about this. Did you know?
No.
You can go to moneypuck.com. They're great analytic. Hockey has a lot of advanced stats. Did you know Igor faces and saves higher danger chances than Mackenzie Blackwood?
Stats are stupid.
So
I don't
save
understand.
Percentage on high danger chance. Literally, remember how you guys? So literally the category is high danger chances save percentage, and then high danger chance differential. Right. That's how you determine how many chances they've faced and how many they saved. Igor's save percentage is 0.749, which is 75%, right? And he faces above average 2%, right? So it's above the league average. He faces 2% above league average, and he saves 74% of them, right? Mackenzie Blackwood faces league average. It was like 0.58, 0.62, 62%. So when you look at those stats, their shots are the same. Their shots are the same. The shots are the same. The high danger chances, Igor actually faces more. Igor saves them more. Mackenzie Blackwood faces less. Mackenzie Blackwood gives up more goals. I'm not saying that makes Igor better. What I'm saying is your argument that Blackwood is better than Igor because he faces more high danger chances. His team's not that well around him. That you're falling into the trap of like bias of your own player. Like, just admit they're on a level playing field. Just admit that they're on a level playing field and that we don't know yet. That's all I'm asking for you guys. I don't sit here and tell you Igor's better, yet I have all the stats to tell you that he is. But I can't, because I know Blackwood's a very talented goalie, and I don't want to say that yet. And then have Blackwood take off when the Devils put a team around him and Igor fall off the face of the earth because he's still young. I'm not ready to say that Igor's better. But you guys are so gung-ho on that Blackwood's better, but there's no stats and there's nothing to prove that other than you're watching every Devil game and seeing the chances he faces. But I'm watching every Ranger game and seeing Igor keeps us in games and steals points all the time. That's my only argument to you guys. Just admit they're on a level playing field. That's all I want. Can you say that for me? Can you say that for me?
Igor's very good. Yes.
But Blackwood's better still, right?
Igor's very good. Yes.
But I admire your passion for Mackenzie Blackwood.
I admire your passion because this goes both ways. Because I'm about to bring this up for you, because you know how you just talked about Justin, like how he wouldn't jump onto the bandwagon with us, saying that Blackwood was better than Igor already. Well, your boy Mike Titalo, I'm gonna call him out on live podcast right now.
Did he say Black was better than Igor?
No, he didn't say that. But last night, because I know you and your heart for Kakko, your heart for Laugh.
Oh,
he fucking hates them.
Oh, but dude, Kakko, I don't understand. I don't know. I think Laugh got a little too much hype. I think Hughes is better than Kakko. I know that. I think that. I don't know what Laugh is yet. Jack Hughes sucked last year too. Had no points, barely any points, nothing.
It's fine. I just thought it was so funny because
of course it's funny, but it's his rookie year. I mean, what do you want? He's been playing better. I mean,
I just thought it was hilarious because he was like, like Kakko, like show shades of Sidney Crosby for 1 second and then he sucks the next.
Exactly, and that's a young player, man. The play that I wanted to text you guys about with LaFreniere was, I don't know if you remember this, but Jack Hughes intercepted a pass from Keandre Miller on the point and went into the offensive zone, right? Lafreniere skated all the way back and stick checked Hughes back, pickpocketed him, stole the puck, and the Rangers got a 3-on-2 chance off of that. Like, that's the plays Lafreniere makes every game. He's not doing it on offense, but he plays 100%, and that's why I know the offense is
it's effort for sure.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like
sure.
I wanted to text you guys when that happened. Like, you guys don't look like, the stats suck for Lafreniere. He looks suspect in the offensive zone, but that play right there is the reason why I know he's going to be a really good hockey player.
And I say the same for Mackenzie Blackwood because his effort.
Yeah, but I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that Lafreniere is better than Igor Shesterkin or Jack Hughes now. I mean, you guys are trying to tell me that.
But you will.
Mackenzie Blackwood's better than Igor, but there's no basis behind it other than your opinion on
I give it time.
What shots he faces.
I give it time.
I mean, Igor Shesterkin, I have a banks of screenshots that I send to other group chats with my Ranger fans to show how like Igor's progressing. But he's a top 10 goalie in almost every category. And then I look for Mackenzie Blackwood and he's bottom 10. And I don't sit here and tell you guys that he sucks because I know he doesn't. Okay. So I take in consideration the situation that Blackwood's in. I really genuinely do. All I want, and I'm going to just keep bringing it up, just admit that they are on a level playing field and that not either one of them are better than each other at this exact moment. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Igor's very good.
Okay. That's all I'm going to get from you. You're going to go to the grave with Mackenzie Blackwood. How funny would it be if the Devils this offseason just go, you know what? He didn't show us much. Let's go get a
Then I will agree with you.
And then you'd be like, oh, what the fuck? The Devils didn't see it. Nah, but that won't ever happen.
I will agree with you. It's fought the Devils organization. They have enough rebuilding.
That was great. That was a great conversation.
That was good. I don't know if you want to clear it up or do you want to say one more thing about your Mets? I know we said we were going to go around the world.
You know what? Mets got a good 2 wins yesterday. I don't want to talk about them yet. I want to see if they can put these things together. And I know you don't want to talk about the Yankees yet. It's all going to be overreaction. It's young. Baseball season's young. We'll get to the baseball.
On a 9-person lineup, the Devils, the Yankees literally have 7 to 8 outs. That's all I got to say.
They're struggling right now, but the Yankees always struggle in the year. People always overreact and they win 100 games.
I know. For sure.
Although starting pitching for them is very scary. Their starting pitching is very, very scary right now. They need Severino back ASAP because Jameson Taillon looks like a mess. Corey Kluber is unpredictable. Domingo Germán.
Terrible. See ya.
Only you have is Garrett Cole. I mean, the Mets at least have DeGrom, Stroman, Walker looks great, and Peterson's pitching today. Hopefully he bounces back. But when the Mets get Carrasco back in a couple of weeks and they get Syndergaard, their 1 through 4 is going to be literally
unreal,
tops in the league. I'm excited for that, but the Mets can't hit right now, so we'll see, man. Long days, and I'm excited. Next week we'll fucking attack the draft. We had another great conversation about Mackenzie and Igor, and let's get this hockey population up, right?
Let's get the hockey population. I mean, I know you said we were going to stop talking about hockey. I mean, we can do an episode after the 4-game series is done if you want. Because when the Rangers
because one of us, it's going to be pointless. If the Rangers go 3-1, it's pointless to talk shit about you. The Devils are one of the worst teams in the league right now.
I think the next podcast that we should do regarding our teams, if it's the Devils or the Rangers, I think it's if the Rangers make a playoff spot or just
if they sneak in and
if they sneak in, then I can try to be on your side, be respectful.
If the Rangers play the Bruins last 2 games of the year, right? If they stay within 4 points, literally it would be Rangers win those 2, they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's why I think we'll talk hockey. But hey, the Devils I heard it all night and last night in the broadcast. The Devils want to play spoiler. They split with us. We go 2-2. The Rangers will lose ground, and then it'll make it harder for them. The Rangers go 3-1 or the Devils go 3-1 against us. We're done. Like the Rangers are done. Like, so it's a playoff series, man. It's 4 straight games. Like the Rangers took game 1 and the Devils are going to come back at us at the Garden on Thursday with fire. I know it. So crazy. Great episode.
I hope so. Yeah. Let's just narrow it down here. Same as usual. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, sports_ZMT, TikTok, ZMT. And
everything.
Today, me and Tom have ordered our first pair of sweatshirts. It's the MT brand. And we will have that here in a week or 2. And hopefully we'll put it up. And if people want to buy it, then we will go from there.
It'd be dope.
Yeah. Yep. And catch this episode on YouTube, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, Tom. Take care, buddy.
Peace. Later.